What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? It's Mathis StarCraft, and I am super excited for another game from MLG Columbus between EGiNcontrol, one of the best Protosses I know, and we have, whoa, that's not centered, dSeleCT, and there's EGiNcontrol saying you are an amazing player. I wish you all the best. Good luck, have fun from dSeleCT. I love good-mannered people, especially professional gamers who, there are some of them that are extraordinarily notorious for bad manners. And cough, Idra cough, and it's just great to see such good manners from these players. Just really just wishing each other luck and knowing that they're both competing, but they're also people, and it's great. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we are on Shakuras Plateau. Enough of my blather mouthing, and they're talking about day 9 and we because they're live casting this game, and I am but a lowly caster with 49 subscribers. But I am not gonna back away from this particular replay, as because MLG is just so much fun, and I hope you guys get to see this and enjoy the cast as well. EGiNcontrol being one of the best Protoss players I've seen in a long time. And honestly, I actually just really casted a replay between him and Liquid TLO, an amazingly creative Terran who played random for a long time, and recently, and when I say recently, I mean within the past 6 months or so, actually transitioned to just a straight-up Terran player. So go check the game out if you haven't. It's actually really, really cool. They both do some really cool stuff in that game, and it's a lot of fun to watch. So definitely go check that out. It'll be on my channel. Now, as far as dSeleCT goes, I did have a game of his casted between him and Idra. There were a few problems with the cast. I was missing a few things, so I kind of just put it as private for now. I may go back and recast that game at some point, but instead of giving you guys like a suboptimal cast, I will. I just kind of moved it. So it looks like he did pull away an SCV because this probe was harassing. There is no SCV kills, so he did survive. This is just going to be a supply depot that's going to kind of be sitting there and walling off. Is he going to get the kill? He'll probably end up canceling this before it gets killed off. We'll take a look. Keep an eye on it. 25 health, and the SCV is going to go back to fixing this up, so he is not going to cancel it. He's just going to move his SCV over there, enabling him to continue that wall off, maintain the integrity of that supply depot, so to speak, and that probe is going to scoot on out of there before he really sees anything in particular, honestly. So good wall off, so no scouting really gets done. Just to be sure, we will take a quick peek, and yeah, no scouting done outside the wall itself. I do have the production tab open, so we are going to be seeing it looks like a 1 Rax into orbital. Maybe we'll see a 2 Rax aggression. That wouldn't be surprised. But it looks like he's moving SCV out over the natural expansion. We're going to see a 1 Rax into expand. And a map like Shakuras Plateau, that is not necessarily uncommon. And there is the command center. So as I was saying, not necessarily uncommon. In big maps like these, macro game is just on everybody's mind, especially for pro players and Zerg in general. Big maps are great for them, but grabbing an early expansion like this is a little bit risky, especially as a Terran. But going against a Protoss who's a little bit slower to push out and a little bit slower to put on that pressure, definitely something that is less risky than, say, going against a Zerg or another Terran where they could 2-Rax you, or they could, or the Zerg could speedling rush you. So a little bit less risky, but still a little bit risky. It's going to enable him to get that macro game a little bit ahead of his opponent, allowing him that early economy lead and just banking all of that money, and being able to spend it on a heavy army before his opponent is able to get some. And the defensive bunker going down, excellent placement for that bunker. Probably be there for a little bit of the game, eventually get recycled, but that bunker is going to allow him early defenses and not really have to worry about any quick run-bys or zealot pressure or 2 gates pressure. Speaking of, let's take a look at what he's doing over here. We do have 1 gate cyber core with a 2nd gate going down, just a zealot and a stalker at the front entrance there to make sure no one is able to scoot on by and get a quick peek. He does not know, I believe, about that expansion. No, he does not. He has no idea that expansion is there. If he did, he'd probably be saving up for an expansion of his own. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was going to do a 2-gate into expand here, maybe 2-gate pressure as well. That's a lot of, especially like I said, on big maps where people try to macro up and get an early economic lead. And there it is. The probe is going to be going down, waiting for that money to hit that 400 mark to drop that nexus. So he is doing a 2-gate into expand. We'll probably see pressure go down over to our Terran friend. But he's going to see that he's already had a base up there for a little while, mining up, and he's going to probably have the army is going to be so sizable at that point, if he decides to push, that he'll be able to defend relatively simply and relatively easily. Going down here, we do have a 3rd gateway going down. So I really like this move. I really like that both players are going in to grab their naturals at relatively early times, especially for the races that they are, because that is going to let the game go longer, and I love longer games, and it's just going to allow for bigger armies to clash. No real cheeses is going on. Both players really just focusing on their macroing skills. So definitely something cool. And if I start coughing, hey, guess what, guys? I got a nice tea today, so I won't be coughing at you for too long. Delicious Lipton iced tea. That's right. I am supporting Lipton. Lipton, I want royalties in the mail. ASAP. So we're doing a 2-gate expansion into a 3-gate robo facility. Not uncommon whatsoever. And here comes the 2-gate pressure. As I was stating, sentry heavy because of that expansion. They are so cheap. I believe it's 25 minerals for each sentry. But he's going to quickly come across 4 bunkers full of Marines. So he's going to know that expansion's already up. He's going to quickly back on out of there, say, screw that. I am not losing units to just a couple of bunkers and not really get anything out of it. So he's seen all he needs to see. Knowing those 2 bunkers are there right up front on that natural expansion's doorstep, he knows right away that there's an expansion there. So he doesn't have to worry about it. Though he doesn't know how long it's been there, he knows long enough for a couple of bunkers full of Marines to be there. So he's probably assuming that's been there way longer than his expansion, which he would not be incorrect. As far as the worker count goes, we could take a look here. dSeleCT is a little bit ahead because of those mules. Well, he's 2 ahead straight up SCVs to probes, but those 3 mules on the ground are going to also bump his economy way far ahead. As far as production, he's got a lot of Marines and Marauders still in production. Combat Shield is being produced along with Stimpack, and a Starport is dropping down with a reactor. I was going to say refactory, which is not even a word. So we're going to move on that. He's going to, as that factory pops out, he's going to quickly swap it over with the factory. The Starport and the factory are going to switch. The reactor are going to be used to make a bunch of medevacs. So he's going to be looking at a heavy infantry supply, Marine Marauder medevac, it looks like, especially with that tech lab right there and the Stimpack and the concussion cells. So we'll take a look. He's got 2 barracks with those tech labs, so Marauders are not out of the question. In fact, they are completely expected. And those medevacs, a heavy infantry army, not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see him elevator down this corner right here. A lot of Terran like to do this, where this used to be rubble where you could destroy a ramp, but they've recently changed that. By recently, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 months ago, but this actually is good for Terran now because they can quickly drop with their medevacs, scoot on over, an elevator up in the backside of the base. As you can see, not dSeleCT, sorry, EGiNcontrol already prepped for that, knowing that that's a distinct possibility. Having this pylon here allows him for that little foresight. And if we look over here, it looks like this the observer is going to quickly see this army moving on out, heading to the center of the map, securing both Zelnaga watchtowers, making sure that if there are any units, either A, going to scare them off, or B, just straight up kill them. So quickly, as you see, really just checking for a split second, then moving on out. The observer going to follow them, but dSeleCT, you'll be sure as hell knows that that observer is there. So there's the scan. As I say that, there's the scan. So looking at the food differential, he is a solid, a little bit, oh no, the food differential just caught up because of warping it in. The Colossus is out, so it looks like we're going to be seeing heavy Stalker Colossus army. Going to be doing a little bit of back and forth, and up in the corner, I don't know if you guys realize, but dSeleCT is dropping a hidden third. Now, if this is able to not be seen and not get caught, this is going to pay dividends for him. Dividends. It's going to be able to support a huge economy, especially if it gets up and running before EGiNcontrol can stop that. And here's the elevator play I was talking about. Going to the backside of the base, going to be dropping some units here, and he has another one. If you look at the mini-map, another medevac up here, and he'll probably be doing that in the expansion as well. Pronged attack, very smart move, taking out that pylon before anything goes down. He's going to have to decide where he wants his army to be, either the natural or the main, or have to split it up. But he looks like he's going straight for the natural, and yes, he split up his army before any major damage was done. But still, mind games are going to be played as he does do a two-pronged attack, and this medevac got scooted out with a little bit of damage, only losing 1 Marine here. And he's going to go to the corners, maybe meet up with the other medevac and do a bigger push in the natural or the main to hopefully do some damage to his economy. Just putting him 1 more step behind. He is already 1 base ahead as far as he is concerned, though with mules and SCVs quickly getting saturated, and these 2 medevacs are going to hold hands and scoot their way over into the back of this base again. And here we go, dropping into the back, going to quickly take out this pylon. That'll quickly stop those 2 upgrades, which is exactly what he wants, as to delay those upgrades as long as possible, stimming and quickly going to be wiping out this army. It looks like the Colossus is going to come in and is going to quickly scoot that out of there. One of the medevacs dropping down, but the other one grabbing what it can and backing out, which is more than those dead Marines can say. But they were able to delay those upgrades, so as far as dSeleCT goes, I would call that a success. These upgrades were going to be the 1-1 upgrades, so I'm going to put him ahead as far as that goes. Now, EGiNcontrol grabbing his third as well, though he's still not 100% sure about that hidden third. So, yeah, he has no idea. So, as far as he knows, he is 1 base ahead, but he's actually going to be just catching up as far as the third base goes. He's going to force the cancel on this Nexus. Is he going to get his army here in time at all? Warping a couple stalkers to do him a little bit of damage, but here comes the army. Too little too late, I think. Is he going to get the cancel? Yes, he's going to abandon his troops there to get that. I'm not sure if he canceled or if it was destroyed, but either way, he was able to scoot out of there too with that medevac, barely alive. And with those troops in there and scooting off to the corner out of reach of the stalkers' little guns as they quickly huddle in the corner and, you know, hope and pray they can kill it off, but no, they cannot. It is too far out of reach, and as the army moves, the medevac is going to scoop back in here and continue doing some harassment. I love that. Dropping on the high ground so he can heal up the troops before he moves back in there. The army none the wiser and moving away from this, so the harassment will continue,